this party.
It's going.
Woo! Hello. Beautiful people.
Top of the morning to you guys.
Hey guys.
Now, one quick thing. If I seem kind of low energy, it's because I got stabbed
Your
earlier.
boy just got vaccinated.
Yeah, I got stabbed earlier.
He did get stabbed. He got stuck with an injection of the COVID-19 vaccine.
Yeah, so I'm a little tired from that. Who knew, like, getting just would take so much out of you?
Yeah, it's actually been stated that, some people would just be like, and it's just like, it's just one shot. But that one shot does
that
a
one
lot.
shot 2 hours later. I feel like I'm dying inside.
Hello, darkness. Well, actually, no, not that.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
It kind of like, hold on, I'm trying to think of what meme that describes pain. I mean, I could do the GT.
Without love, pain.
I can't get enough. I would say the freaking Rick and
Wake
Morty.
me. Oh, wait, no.
Yeah, but that one's too generic. And also the wasted thing from GTA. That's been overused since like 2014. Burn. Yeah, that's been already done since like 2013/15. So can't use that. Hold on, I'm trying to think of. That's what I like. Nestle Crunch. Maybe it's like that. Who knows? But yeah, I'm chilling. How about you? How you feeling? Other than
Meh.
yeah.
So, no, do you mind if I start us off?
Honestly, I got nothing. I'm just kind of vibing, having a good time. My week was a little bit hectic, so go on. The floor is all you, buddy. Oh, and also he just released a new commentation video. You should definitely check it out. It's pretty good. Oh, you did? I thought you deleted the first one.
No. Yeah, I did.
You deleted it and then you re-released it?
I deleted it. I remade it, re-released it, and then I made another one about The Last of Us. Spoiler alert, I am pooping on The Last of Us just a little bit.
Second one or the first one?
The second one.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's understandable because a lot of people were not happy with that. Some people were, some people were not.
Raya and the Last Dragon.
I thought it was a nice movie. I thought it was pretty cute.
No, this is the first Disney movie that wasn't a sequel, a reboot, a reimagining, or some sort of live-action remake.
Yeah, this is the first original. Well, not original.
Since, like, Coco, Moana, Big Hero. It's been a long time.
Mm-hmm.
This is my new favorite Disney movie.
Mm.
Probably one of my favorite movies ever. I watched it 4 times
You
in a
have?
single week.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I loved this movie. And unfortunately... Actually, let me open the tea for this one.
Oh, boy. That's how you know it's not good news.
One second.
The cans.
Yeah.
Arizona, your drinks are great, but the cans are elite.
Cans are supreme. Okay. Anyway, this movie inadvertently kind of made me hate Star Wars a little bit.
Ooh, that's a pretty big jab.
No, so
From one movie too.
Kelly Marie Tran, the voice of Raya.
Yeah.
She was Rose.
Yeah.
In the Star Wars sequel.
Oh yeah.
And it just made me flash back to all the hate she got. It was really, really bad.
Yeah.
Like she got death threats, racial slurs.
Really?
Yeah, a lot.
Because she was on the Star Wars movie?
She was basically kicked off social media. Not kicked off, that's not the word. But she had to leave social media and seek therapy because the Star Wars fan base was so terrible to her.
Ow.
And I saw a comment on one of Raya's posts. I don't remember where. I don't want to repeat it either. It was something stupid. It was something about Rose under a Raya comment. Like,
so they're still carrying the stuff that's happening on Riot.
As I saw that comment, I wanted to chuck my lightsaber in the garbage.
Oh.
I'm just so.
I will say I wouldn't give up on Star Wars. The fan base, go on ahead, but yeah, that's really crappy. And honestly, I would just have to say, I won't blame the fan base because people can think whatever they want to think, but
No.
I want to blame Star Wars really.
I
like
understand.
the people who are managing those movies.
I understand that the vocal minority is not the majority, but then when the vocal minority is too vocal, is so vocal to the point where they're drowning out the rest of it, the rest of us, then that's when Star Wars steps in. And that's why I have a hard time taking them serious. I don't want this to be shitting on Star Wars. I loved Raya so much.
Yeah, I won't comment on that because it's a sensitive topic with everything. And honestly, I will say that every minority is suffering something differently, and I will not say one will outclass the other. We're all suffering through something, and it's all under the same umbrella. And really, I just hope that, we all come together and we work as a nation. Now, moving on, because, this is a hefty thing, and, even though we're coming with the hard blows in this episode, but I do want to bash on Star Wars because how the company was marketing the beginning of the trilogy series, I thought of it was absolutely ridiculous because I will say, it was cool to see, a minority on the big screen and being advertised, but the fact we're going to give you this amount of time to shine. I'm not saying this is with anyone that's black, white, or black, Asian, Hispanic, all that stuff. I'm just saying someone that isn't the majority that's on the big screen that's being marketed, and then later on as the series pans out, he's casted off to the side. And that goes with a lot of movies, but I noticed it the most with Star Wars because, as an avid Star Wars fan, I find it very, very frustrating because why market something or anything for that matter and then cast it aside and then put back something that makes everyone else comfortable or what you think is comfortable? Because I don't give a dang if it's something that makes you as whatever you produce, because the audience is going to take whatever they take. You see that verbatim with majority of the actors in this series. So I hate the fact that it had to happen to the cast in Star Wars, and it sucks because Star Wars is such a big, well-known franchise, and it should be the perfect place for whatever person is trying to go up to. This should be the quote rocket.
Star Wars is for everyone.
Yeah. That's the thing that kind of bothers me with some of the stuff that I heard back in the day with the superhero stuff. Back when Miles Morales was kind of getting some traction, where I would hear, and also, I'll bring that other topic later, but I want to get it on this focus one thing, that, Spider-Man is not black. He's not this, that, and the third. He's this.
Now, one thing I loved about Spider-Verse is it literally said anyone can wear the mask.
And that's where I draw to that point. Because I'm trying to not rant and break out. I know this is ramblings, but stuff like this I have to be very careful with.
Yeah.
But Kaine said it perfectly well. Everyone can wear the mask. Anyone can be a hero. So before we go off and saying something that isn't normal to us, and go off with trying to call out the thing that is not what you're used to, they all come from if their sole purpose is to make you feel happy, to entertain you, or to save you from whatever you're going through, the first thing you're not going to think of is what they are. So I'm not going to tell you because you can do whatever you want. But if I can say one thing is just allow the person to just be. If they're not harming you in any mental or physical way, let them be. So I will say, I will digress to this, is just that no one should ever feel like they're out of place at all. Mm-hmm. And that's something that I wanted to share, and I'll get on that. I'll let you speak a little bit more. But yeah, I'll touch on that. You got anything before I go?
The last little thing, I loved Raya. I hope it gets a sequel. It probably won't. the last Disney movie to get a sequel was Frozen, and that was a smash hit. Just if there is a timeline where Raya left Star Wars in the dust, I really hope to be on it. Oh, and do you remember last week there were like a couple of Marvel series that we were talking about? There was Moon Knight, She-Hulk.
Yep.
I remember the fourth one now. It was the Hawkeye series with Kate Bishop.
Yes.
I forgot about that.
Yes.
Completely.
I totally forgot about... Oh, jeez. I feel bad now because that's exactly what happens in the actual comic books. Everyone forgets about Hawkeye.
No.
Even though the Hawkeye in the MCU is actually pretty decent.
He's pretty cool.
Yeah, he's pretty cool. But one thing I wanted to touch on, back onto the first topic, was we all don't know where people come from, honestly. And so it's just best to not judge, keep moving forward, do you. And if they're doing their thing, let them do their thing, honestly. Because so much of our lives will be so much easier if we just stop worrying about what's next to us or what's, like, you know, different from the other. Because if we just stay in our lane, making sure that we just keep moving forward with our own best interests, then that's all more reason to keep going.
Someone said something to me personally, like worrying about other people is kind of a luxury, because like when you're growing up or when you're trying to find your place in the world, you're so focused on what you want that you don't really have the time or the energy to do other. And as bad as this sounds, you don't really have the time or the energy to care about other people just yet. And like you said, it's a luxury to care about others, but first and foremost, you gotta take care of yourself, yo. Because you can't fill any more cups if you're running empty. Like, that's a fact, yo. And I'm pretty sure he's been a victim of this, but I know from personal experience, I've been a victim of that immensely. I wasted years trying to help someone, and I felt shitty. And then I took last year and now this year to really focus on myself. And I know this is like a podcast about comic books and heroes and all that cool pop culture type of junk, but, you know, I think health comes a long way when trying to chase the things that you like to do, which is what we are doing right now. So, yeah. Make sure you stay healthy, mentally and physically. I know we switched this shit up on you guys on the first episode, but we really, really want everyone to, you know, just search for whatever they're really passionate about. I won't say, like, we want everyone to be happy because, you know, that's kind of physically impossible. Like, not everyone can be happy. I wish everyone could be happy. But realistically, there's going to be some times when we'll feel sad, we'll feel pissed off, we'll feel anxious. Don't negate those emotions. Keep doing what you're doing. And never give up. Okay? All right. Do your thing.
Oh, my gosh. And also the next thing I wanted to talk about was pretty hefty. And it goes to that question that you put on your commentary video.
What do you think is special?
Name the one show that you hold dear, like that your most favorite show.
Yeah.
And I'll answer that question, but I'll let you go because I had a pretty hectic jump.
I don't have anything for now. I had my spiel for Raya. You go ahead.
Okay. So, if you guys have not seen his video, it is a very, very, very great episode. I think you guys would enjoy it a lot. A little bit good information for Fate, because I'm not really big on Fate, but from what he has described about the show, I can see why he would like it. And this is only like a snippet of what he has, but in the video he asked the question, think of your most favorite show you will want to be in.
Think of something that you love, whatever it may be. It could be a book, a game, a movie, whatever you want it to be. But it has to be something you think is truly, truly special.
For me, I thought of Spider-Man, but that was the easy thing because that was quick in my mind. And I took a couple days to marinate it, and I came to the conclusion to Naruto.
Okay.
Now, I don't care if this is mainstream or not. It is mainstream for a freaking reason. The show is good. And I will accept and credit to all those other off-brand, or not off-brand, the deeper type, excuse me, I don't mean to say off-brand.
Which Naruto, though? The original arc or Shippuden?
I haven't seen enough of Shippuden, so I can't really say it. But so far, Shippuden is pretty good. But to, back to what I was saying, to all the other, animes that are not mainstream, still, credit to you guys. I'm still trying to get into that. Bear with me. But the reason why I say Naruto is because man, where to even begin? A lot of it.
I will acknowledge the original Naruto story was a great one. It was an underdog story. It was this kid who pretty much had nothing.
Yeah.
And then, worked his ass off and
For sure.
became
Be Hokage.
Yeah.
And I think it's just a beautifully drawn story, but I think it's mainly Naruto himself that I find it very relatable. And I don't think the reason why I say Naruto is the best protagonist, I think, out of the big three. I haven't seen Luffy yet, so sorry about that. But from
really?
my
Even over Ichigo?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Because a lot of the stuff with
No, one thing I will give the other two that Ichigo doesn't have, the other two have a goal in mind, like an end goal.
Ichigo's goal is really
Naruto
weird.
wants to be Hokage and Luffy wants to be the Pirate King.
Mm-hmm.
Ichigo's goal from roughly the first episode is to keep his friends and family safe.
Yeah.
But that's about it.
Yeah, that's really kind of the motif with Ichigo. Yeah, but Naruto, he has a set goal. And with him, I find that he's very relatable on a lot of standpoints. Mm-hmm. I can guarantee out of everyone who has seen Naruto, there's at least one thing. No, I'll actually push it a little bit. There are 3 things that Naruto has dealt with that you can relate to as the viewer. And a lot of it that Naruto has endured, I actually, not experienced fully to his capacity, but I understand from where a lot he's coming from. And I think the one that hit me the most, and this one was Naruto Shippuden. And it was when they showed the picture of Gaara and Naruto as younger kids. Mm-hmm. And they both start out crying, right? Because these are Jinchuriki. And little backstory, Jinchuriki are people that have giant beasts inside their body, and they're basically the hosts. And in every village, they are basically shunned. They are known as the abomination. Mm-hmm. And, oh gosh, I hope I don't cry, because this is hard for me. With Naruto and Gaara, there are 2 Jinchuriki, different villages, but with the same kind of, pain and stuff that they dealt with. And you see, they weren't born into this world to be like Jinchuriki. They never chosen to be. Mm-hmm. And they were automatically discriminated and judged by the world. And I think a lot of people who are born in this world nowadays has felt that in some sort of degree. And the thing that hit me most definitely, this is where it started to hit me in that scene, was when Naruto started gaining more people. And the crowd of, his circle starts to get bigger and bigger, mm-hmm. and he starts to become happier and happier. And Gaara's still there, in that same position, crying and slowly getting smaller and smaller. And that hit me so much because I relate with Naruto because I grew up in a circle where I've met tons of people that have been there for me. And I know what it feels like to be lonely. I mean, 1, I'm an only child. 2, I've been moved around a lot of times. And especially if you guys, whoever has a military family who's moved from place to place a lot, may know the feeling as well. But I really, really knew where Gaara was coming from because I met a lot of people in my life that weren't as blessed as I was. Oh, God. Okay. And it sucks. And it made me really, really, I need to catch my breath here.
Okay, I'm going to jump into the green.
Yeah.
One thing that I loved about Naruto and Gaara, they were pretty much the same at the start, mm-hmm. and then their goals kind of shifted. They both wanted to make people respect them. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And with Gaara, that was a bit more literal. He wanted to make people fear him. Mm-hmm. And then after his whole battle with Naruto, he mm-hmm. came to the realization, maybe this isn't the right way to go. Yeah. What if I, instead of making people respect me through fear, what if I show them that I'm not the monster that they see me as? Exactly. And doing the things that are hard. Gaara's first speech in Shippuden, I still remember that to this day. He said, I don't remember exactly what it was. He said, by the next time you see me, I won't be this little kid anymore. I'll be the Sand's next Kazekage. I'm mm-hmm. Damn. Yeah, dude. Good on you. And this is the first time I've openly spoken out about that. And what I kind of think is interesting, they kind of had a bit of a trade-off. Where Naruto's mm-hmm. circle got bigger, mm-hmm. it took him longer to get to his goal. Mm-hmm. Whereas Gaara's was pretty small. He only had Kankuro and Temari. Maybe Matsuri, maybe the Sen people. Sort of, yeah. He got to his goal much, much quicker. Yeah, because Gaara and Naruto were cut from the same cloth. And at the same time, they weren't. No.
Because they're both Jinchuriki, but like
no, they're both
the
Jinchuriki,
difference
and
is
they're
like
both
where Naruto has come from.
they're
and
both
where
Jinchuriki.
Gaara
They're
comes
both Kage children.
from. Yeah, and
Wait, that's a spoiler. Whoopsie daisy.
well, yeah, it is kind of a spoiler, but still, I'm pretty sure everyone kind of knew that at this point. But yeah, it's kind of been spoken into it. But yeah, so in my life personally, I've seen people who has felt this like that way, like Gaara, and I know how Naruto feels when he's trying to save someone that's felt that same pain as him, because it's a lonely feeling to be the only one when you're going through something, and then when you find someone that understands your pain or knows what you're going through, it just kind of feels like a piece of the puzzle that's, or like not a piece of the puzzle, it's like I'm trying to find the right
It feels
words.
like you're looking in a mirror, rather.
Yeah, exactly. And you don't want that same thing to happen to that other person, you know? So that's why I found it really, really great. And also, just like, you know, his dedication, man. Naruto's consistency and dedication is uncomparable. Maybe towards Luffy, I think, because, I don't know, Luffy wants to be the Pirate King, so his goal is set in mind. And with Naruto, he's completely dedicated, and even when Naruto sees everyone else around him progress, because the thing that I was so shocked by, because I never thought that was the case when coming into the show, was that Naruto was still not even he wasn't a Chunin, he was still a Jonin.
Genin.
Yeah, he was still a Genin. The entire series, he was still a Genin. And he gets to see all of his friends turn to Jonin and Chunin, and one of them being a Kage. So, like, I know that feeling as well, where everyone else is leaving you behind, but that still does not stop him from getting to his goal. Like how I am with my goal, becoming a musician and doing all kinds of other cool stuff with the social media and all that stuff. That's where I, you know, find a huge comparison between him and I.
Can I spoil something for you real quick? Huh. It's a very small one.
Okay.
Naruto never actually passes the Chunin exams.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, throughout the entire, I want to say, how long is it? 10, 12-year run of Shippuden?
Yeah, he does not.
He never passes the Chunin exams.
Because he's always out there doing crazy freaking missions. And
no, and then this is back when I was like really into Naruto. I played a ton of video games.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the villagers would comment like, "How the fuck are you still a Genin? You're so..."
Yeah. And that's another thing too, is whatever the system tells you or whatever someone else tells you, deep down from the examples that you get from everyone else, deep down that you know from out of the practice and dedication that you have for yourself, that is not true.
Mm-hmm.
So when you see something that's fucking blasphemy, it's fucking blasphemy, dude. Because the only person that knows you best is yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it just goes to the amount of power of how much believing in yourself takes. Like, you know, it's a lot of time and energy. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. But through that time and dedication and energy and the consistency, it's gonna pay off. And that's why I like Kuroko as well. So it's the same way. It's hand in hand, even though Kuroko is much more chill about it. Naruto, he's a knucklehead. So, yeah.
They literally call him a Knucklehead Ninja. I love it.
Naruto, the #1 knuckleheaded ninja.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's been not my week, but that's what I've been doing most of my week so far, has been watching Naruto. Oh! And also I started watching K-On!
Oh my god, K-On!
Dude, K-On! Is so adorable.
It's so cute.
It's so adorable. I love it. And actually, it kind of made me want to play guitar a little bit more now. It's absolutely adorable.
K-On!
I can definitely... I want to say I like the drummer because, you know, the drummer, but the bass player is absolutely funny, bro.
I haven't watched the series all the way. I watched like 2-3 episodes years ago.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
The bass player is so funny though because she's like really good, but she gets super shy.
The drummer's Ritsu. Who are the other three again?
Ritsu, Mio.
Mio's the bassist, right?
The bassist, yeah. Yui is the guitar player, and I forgot the pianist's name.
Oh.
Oh crap!
No.
No. Look it up.
All right,
Hurry,
Google
hurry.
it. Hold on.
Google. Sponsor us, please.
Like the old days, please.
Like the old days. Wait, like the old days? They sponsored us before?
No. Okay, so we have Yui, we have Ritsu, we have Mio,
Yep.
Sumugi,
Okay.
and then there's also Nodoka. Wait,
Nodoka is Yui's friend, right?
yeah. There's another character named Yui, or is it Ui?
Is it Ui her sister? Yui and Ui? That's a very interesting sibling name combination.
Yui, I think it might be
No way.
Hirasawa.
Yui
No.
Hirasawa?
Yui Hirasawa and Ui Hirasawa.
Wow.
That's
Yui.
strange.
That's hilarious. Love that.
There's also Azusa, Sawako, and June.
Oh, I got a question for you. Have you ever watched a movie and just thought to yourself, this would be so much better if it were animated?
Yeah.
Okay. So, I want to ask you on your opinion for Pacific Rim Black.
I'll be honest. I did not think I would like the show that much. I loved it.
Okay.
No, like I watched the original Pacific Rim years ago. I loved it. I thought I didn't love it. This is back when I didn't know any better. I liked it. I thought it was alright. Pacific Rim 2 came out. What happened to the story?
Oh my god.
What?
It was like what happened with Godzilla and King of the Monsters, but all the cool action stuff was just jam-packed into the end and compressed into 10 minutes.
Just
because I think that's what they were trying to pull, was a Godzilla King of the Monsters
that
vibe.
movie came out before King of the Monsters.
Yeah, I know, but King of the Monsters kind of did it right. It had the same cheesy, story, but the monster action kind of just, filled in those blanks, and you're just like, okay, I can live with this. Pacific Rim, Uprising.
Pacific Rim had a nice story. Pacific Rim Uprising just took what worked in Pacific Rim and just...
Yeah, they just ringed it up and just tossed it into the ringer yet again. So, yeah.
As much as I like the giant robots, just great like mind-numbing action can only get you so far. But Pacific Rim Black, I actually really, really liked.
Yeah, I thought it was very fun too. And also, how did you feel with the Jaeger battles in the daytime? Because I kind of don't like them in the daytime. I actually like them in the nighttime. Nighttime Jaeger battles are pretty cool. Both in live action and animated, I just find it a little bit cooler that way. This is my personal opinion.
Personally, I don't really care. I don't really see a difference. I think as long as it's serving a story point, as long as it's not just a Jaeger battle for the sake of a Jaeger battle, because that's a lot of what Uprising was, just giant monster fights.
Basically, yeah. Because I was gonna be like, yeah, it's okay, but thinking about that story, it's just
why?
Yeah. And I didn't really like the daytime battle in Uprising. I think that's why I have this opinion of. But yeah, the Jaeger battle in Uprising was just not. Yeah.
No,
Even though they did reference one of the Jaeger bots.
Yeah.
I think it was Titan.
Titan.
Wrecking Ball.
I don't know.
It's most likely Titan. Yeah.
They referenced Gypsy.
They did reference Gypsy. Riley.
No, but one moment I thought was kind of funny. In the last battle with Copperhead, Taylor sends out the chain whip. He wraps it around. He's like, "Yeah, let's see how you like it." because Copperhead took his arm earlier.
Yeah. No, my favorite part was when the Copperhead in the final battle scene was coming after Loa when she was in stationary mode, and then she hits the. Of course. I was like, oh my gosh, I love this.
Loa is great. I love her so much.
The best AI. She was funny from start to finish.
The best AI, the best character in that show.
I don't know. I was actually going to go in for May on that one.
Okay, no, May was pretty good too.
Yeah, May was pretty good. But, okay.
No,
I'll
but
give
Loa...
May and Loa is very close.
No, in the first episode, Taylor's like, "Fire all weapons! Target destroyed." is what I would say, but we have no weapons. You are restricted to only hand-to-hand combat. Very sorry.
Dude, that was by far the most savage thing you could ever encounter in a battle.
You just wasted 5 minutes.
giant monster hurling at full speed, and the thing your AI tells you is, I would say. I can't, man. I can't. Loa is absolutely amazing.
I loved Loa. I loved Mei. She reminded me a lot of Motoko Kusanagi from Ghost in the Shell.
Honestly, Mei was just like, dang. I kind of, like, I wanted to, like, just scream at her, just say, shoot whatever his face was.
Shane. Fuck that man.
Shoot Shane. Remember when you talked about Hayward? If you thought of something about, like, a way to kill him and think 10 times that, it still would be enough?
Yep.
Same way for Shane. Same way. Because Shane, I can't stand him. This man stole this... Spoilers.
Kidnapped the poor girl.
They kidnapped this girl.
Ripped out her memories.
Her family, stripped her memories.
And made her a killing machine. Take the worst way for someone to die, multiply it by 10.
It still wouldn't be enough.
Not good enough.
And made her watch her friend
get his head blown off. Literally blown off.
Like,
no, just that one. Ouch,
dude.
I felt that in my ears. I'm like, ouch.
No pun intended. My gosh, man, that was not cool, bro. Not cool at all. Not cool
at all.
Like, this man hit the. Let me know that my walkies have an insurance policy. Even though that was kind of a cool line, though. It was kind of a cool line. It was a pretty cool line. But at the same time, the period that he put on that comment, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. But I did like the character development that they had with the siblings. I thought that was a really nice character.
They actually, they pretty much acknowledged right off the bat that the brother hates the sister for what she did. I'm like, yikes!
Shit, dude. If you were told to wait for your parents to come home, to include...
5 years goes by, nothing happens.
Yeah. Like, I understand her impatience, but come on now. You gotta be very careful when you see a giant robot and not think something's about to go off. Like... I mean, I hate to be that guy, but... Yeah. I can understand why he has such, like, you know...
I actually have a little bit of a theory.
With her.
I actually have a little bit of a theory. There was, like, a little thing where Lo was like, Taylor, remember your training at the academy, or something like that. I don't think Taylor's a trained pilot. I think he's hiding that from her.
Where do you think that came from?
I don't know.
And how would we be able to fake it, though?
Oh, good point.
Because, like, did he graduate?
No, they're drifting together, so I don't know.
Yeah.
They need complete 100% access to each other's minds.
Yeah. And also, I really loved that, the creativity that they did with the drift, with the water, and all that stuff. I thought that was really cool. Honestly, I think this show has expanded the story for Pacific Rim, and also... Pacific. I can't get enough with the specific and specific. Like, it's so clearly different, but at the same time, it's not. I'm sorry for blowing out your eardrums. My apologies.
They're fine.
Anyways, but yeah, in Pacific Rim, this is better for the story-wise, because what Uprising has failed to do, this show has succeeded.
Like, I think Pacific Rim, the first one, was a decent story, had really good action. I think Uprising had pretty good action, fucking dumpster fire of a story. I think this one had a beautiful story.
It's a really nice story. I like the story.
Some pretty good action.
I thought it was decent action. Honestly, I think the action was definitely was substituted with a lot of the good drama.
I also love that they're not focusing more on where the kaiju came from. I'm like, we covered this already.
Yeah.
They came from a rift. They were here already. They were with dinosaurs.
Yeah, and they're not from space. They're from underground. We get it. So there's nothing new here. We already have this knowledge. And now we get to focus more on the cast. We focus more on the pilots. We focus more on the humans. Like, we never really get to know what the hell is going on with the human world.
And the post-apocalypse of like, hey, kaiju's rule the world now.
Didn't they say they ruled the island? Or because like Australia went black?
Yeah, they're in Australia.
Overrun by kaiju. But yeah, still, you know, I'm cool with like, you know, having more of a human story and then less giant monsters roaming at each other, because the giant robots and the giant monsters fighting each other is kind of like, you know,
It's cool.
it's cool.
It gets a bit like mind numbing after a while.
Yeah. That's why I'm still a little bit more excited for King Kong and Godzilla.
You feel a little you feel yourself going numb after a while.
Yeah, and you kind of just go like, okay,
Wrap this up already.
is there gonna be a winner or not? I mean, let's hope so. If you're gonna keep this going, you gotta give me something cool. Give me something interesting. Like serenade me with some of these cool sound effects, bro. Like, come on, like give me something.
Give me something here. I need more.
Yeah. So if you had to take these, hold on, let's find some Jaegers here. Let's get some Jaegers.
Oh, Gypsy. Right. Well, actually, no, not Gypsy. Gypsy is pretty cool though.
Hang on. Let's find some Jaegers here. All.
We'll be right back after these messages.
I'm just gonna go to the ones that I know. Oh, there's Crimson Typhoon.
I remember that one.
Yeah, that's a three-handed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the one with the triplets.
Yeah.
They said 3 pilots, 3 arms. Let's get them.
3 pilots, 3 arms, 3 brains. Currently, Gypsy Danger is taking the lead, but I think for me, it's gonna be Eureka. I think.
Was Eureka the one that
Striker.
was that the one that was like Raleigh's rival in the first movie?
I think so.
I'm gonna check.
Hang on.
Eureka Pacific Rim.
Yes, it is.
Oh yeah, I remember this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was cool.
I like this.
Then he got his arm ripped off.
A lot of arms.
Yeah,
that's
a very common thing.
A lot of arms were ripped off in this series.
Yeah, no. He got his arm ripped off. Gypsy got his arm ripped off. Atlas got his arm ripped off.
Is it all the same arm?
Crimson got his arm ripped off. Well, Crimson has 3 arms. He can live without it.
Even if he lost one arm, the other one's still gonna be there.
He's still got 2 of them. He's fine.
He's fine. Shaolin Road. That sounds sick.
Shaolin.
Okay. Nope.
Is this the Shaolin way?
You haven't said that in a while. Mammoth Apostle. Jeez, that sounds like
Atlas Destroyer.
Atlas Destroyer.
Oh, I don't know. I think Gypsy takes the cake here.
Or
Hold on,
did the Hunter Vertigo looked very familiar to the Striker? That's the Jaeger that.
That was their parents?
Yeah.
Hunter Vertigo. Yeah, no, it looked like Striker.
Yeah, on the first glance, at first glance, I was like, oh, it's very similar.
You know, I thought that's what they were. I thought they were like paying homage in a way to like either the comics or the original movie.
Yeah. Yeah, Titan Redeemer. That's the one that I made it.
I can't
Talk about because it's not loading. Load, gosh darn you. Oh.
Lord, god damn it!
Problems occurred. You know what? Screw it.
But I want to see it. What's it called?
It's called Titan Redeemer.
Titan Redeemer. Oh, the guy with the wrecking ball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say some of the Jaeger ideas in Specific Rim Uprising were pretty sick.
Specific Rim.
God damn it. Pacific Rim.
Take a shot every time he says Specific Rim.
Dyslexia.
I feel. How in the?
Kitty! No! Stay safe.
Stay next to you. Stay next to the boy.
Okay. I am at peace. He is safe. Look at him. Look at him there. Look at him.
I know, but you had something about Little Nightmares?
Oh.
Little Nightmare.
Where are my notes on this? I talked a lot on this part. So, do you have anything?
Can I save it for the after hours? I want to show you something anyway.
After hours. Okay. Let me get to my nose because I got something really freaking cool. So, Little Nightmares 2 is insane, and I made a little dialogue for it because, this is actually the first game that hit me as hard as Little Nightmares. And I'm not making proper grammar either. Not making proper grammar. I'm not
speaking in proper English. Yes. Not using proper grammar.
Yes.
Not making sense. You have a bad habit of leaving your ringer on.
I really do. Anyways, so what I have is a game that has little dialogue but has a lot to say. The Little Nightmares series has changed or shined the light in indie horror. Same way like, Five Nights at Freddy's, all that good stuff. And to a new level. Characters who are so little are actually a really big piece to a larger puzzle. A world with more questions than answers that then leads the player to find the answers through the horrible world of Little Nightmares. So, I'm going to start off with the monsters. The monsters in Little Nightmares 2 are pretty good. I have to say, started off, they kind of crescendo into the mess up kind of arc. They don't give you as many monsters as they did in the first game because the second one was a little bit short. Mm-hmm. But
oh,
which one are you looking at? Oh, that's from the first one. Look up The Teacher, Little Nightmares.
1 second.
You're gonna be in for a treat.
Oh no!
Let me see.
No!
Let me see. Do you see the thing in the background?
Yes.
Do you see that?
What?
What?
Of course I see that. I'm not blind.
Yeah, that's her neck.
Yes, of course.
She can extend that neck. This face, I love it. I love this reaction. I'm having a great time here.
This just reminds me of Wieldy.
Oh, that's from the first game.
I'm just ooh.
So yeah, the monsters are so much fun to play with. You have first off.
Oh, you get to play with these things?
Well, you don't get to play with them. They kind of try to kill you.
Oh.
But still, they're really, really fun to play with. Not really with, but play against. It adds a lot of great fun gameplay. And the first monster is the hunter, and it has a shotgun. So right off the bat, you already start off with major
murder.
Adrenaline and murder on the mind. And yeah, you kind of have to dodge for cover because incoming bullets. And a lot of the outcomes to some of these monsters are pretty gnarly. And the hunter's not that bad.
Yeah, he's not that bad.
That's what I say. It crescendos up into.
He reminds me of Yosemite Sam mixed with Jason Voorhees.
Yeah, the first Jason Voorhees, when he didn't take in the mask.
Yeah.
And everything like that. Yeah, and I think that's actually a really good connection. I never really thought of that. That's cool. But yeah, it's literally a complete adrenaline rush. That's all I had for it. Okay, so for the teacher, honestly, you're gonna want to call a chiropractor after that.
I hate her.
And you haven't even played the game.
I just saw that one image. I want no.
Nah. And the thing that's even crazier is that she's accompanied with a bunch of small children.
No.
And they're not nice people. And in the beginning of the game, you're with this other character that's basically your friend, and you're helping each other out.
You know this. My biggest weakness is haunted children, haunted dolls.
Oh
no!
My God, then you're gonna hate the doctor. Then you're going to hate the doctor. Not that the doctor looks like that. It's what happens in his area is what's so tripped up. If you look up the gameplay for the doctor, I really you know what? Don't. Honestly, don't, because that plays right into your fears, David. I'm not even kidding. You're gonna watch it. You're gonna watch it, aren't you? You're gonna. The doctor looks pretty messed up, but the thing is
He reminds me of Homer Simpson mixed with Peter Griffin mixed with
Yeah, the doctor is very ugly.
Have you ever Have you ever? Oh my God, David, words. Have you ever watched like Wallace and Gromit?
Wallace and that sounds so familiar.
If I show it to you, you'll know.
Yeah.
You might know.
Yeah.
If you don't know, I'll be very surprised. Wallace.
No, but that sounds super familiar. Wallace
These two.
and Gromit. Yes.
Yeah, it was basically like an old horror comedy.
Yes. What was that Wallace and Gromit movie that I always asked my parents to make me watch?
And The Curse of the Were-Rabbit.
Yes.
That's the most popular one.
Yeah, that's my favorite one.
Yeah, so he reminds me of like
Yeah.
Peter Griffin mixed with Homer Simpson mixed with a little bit of Wallace and Gromit. And like maybe some Tim Burton. Like what's his name? Oogie Boogie.
Yeah. So that's Doctor, and he is fun too. But like I said, like these monsters later on in this in the game, except for the hunter.
This is a face that says, "Give me a hug."
Actually, he kind of climbs through the ceiling, so I don't know why, but that's what he likes to do. So they're always accompanied with smaller enemies, to keep interest in the game and everything. The teacher is accompanied with small bully-like children, and the doctor is accompanied with mannequins that move in the dark. And the only way for them to stop is if you shine the light on them. See, I told you this is not going to play into your hand. See? So that's why I told you not to look up that gameplay.
I have handled many fucked up things. I have played through the entirety of Alice in Madness, and I love that game.
Yes.
Mannequins, haunted children. Nope.
So yeah, I would definitely advise you not to play that. Mm-mm. Because after playing this game, you're not gonna want to go into
A dark room.
Yeah, a dark room ever again, because the amount of anxiety and pressure that this game puts you into is superb. It's absolutely superb. It's so much fun, and now this is not really a big main antagonist in the game, but I think it plays a really, really good part in how the world is right now. There's these other monsters called the Viewers, and the Viewers are these regular looking people, but their faces are sunken in and they're drawn to the TV, and so they don't move or anything. They don't wander around. They're just going for the nearest TV and just to stare in it. And if you try to grab them or you try to turn off the TV, then they'll attack you.
Then they get mad.
Yeah. But if there's no TV on, then they'll try to find another TV so they can stare into it. And I thought that was really, really deep because that kind of plays along what we are like now today.
Yeah.
Stuck in our TVs, sucked into whatever virtual reality that we're vested into. And hell, even simply with our own phones, that's even just one of the things that this game is kind of bringing out. But
no, I'm noticing, to trail off your topic a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm noticing whenever I'll just quickly scroll through Instagram, I'll close it and I'll immediately reopen it just because of why did I do that?
Yeah, exactly. Actually, if you ever want to, just to eradicate social media,
I feel like I probably.
It's a very liberating feeling.
See, here's the thing. I kind of want to do that, but for our field, what we work into, we kind of have to have social media because that's where our portfolios go.
Exactly.
So it's kind of like a double-edged. It's kind of like a double-edged sword. Do we
want to do this, or do we need to do this? I think it's good for a mental health standpoint because a lot of it is coming from social media, and it's almost as if it's like a ball and chain sort of way. And if we just cut it, because we all have the key, and if we just cut it and just let loose and just start off from scratch, screw it. It's a good feeling. It's nice. It's very good for the mental health and allowing you to relax and take a breath and actually enjoy life.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it goes along with what you're saying. What we do as communicators and film and musicians, community is our thing, and so eradicating our social media is where we're just oh, that's a very good point. But I see things differently. You see things differently. We all have our different.
Like
ways
that's one of the reasons I kind of like TikTok. It's because you can, for the most part, you can control it. You don't have to make content if you don't want to.
Yeah.
Whereas something with Instagram, if you're not doing it, then why are you on it?
Exactly. That's totally the good point. That's a really good point. But now, moving on, gonna go to the characters now. So the main character of the story is called Mono, and my God, his backstory is very sad.
Mono, like
Mono, like Mono, Mono.
Like, where is it? Like single channel,
Mono, and Mono. Okay. So I will be saying spoilers. So if you guys have not seen the walkthrough or have not played Little Nightmares 2, I would highly advise you guys to do that.
Do it.
Like, the gameplay, the game itself, like, if you are going to play it, is absolutely worth it. Like, it is so much fun. You will not be disappointed. And if you don't like it, hey, you can always give it to someone else, or if you have it online, then I'm sorry. But still, I don't think you guys will be disappointed with what the game has in store. If you don't like side-scrolling games, then don't get it. But if you do, and you're up for, like, something new and something different, go get it. So, Mono's backstory is extremely deep when it comes to the big title called Little Nightmares, because Little Nightmares is exactly what you think. It's a nightmare for little children. So Mono has a theory. Well, there's a theory about Mono where he is having nightmares of all of his greatest fears in the real world. And with Mono, it's not too deep, but it kind of pans out in why this theory makes sense. And if I did have the credit, I don't think I do, and it sucks. Hang on, I'll find it later. I'll be sure to send you the thing. But I saw this YouTube video by, I can't remember this guy's name. This is gonna bother me. But still, with Mono's backstory, it's basically telling the story of him losing his father.
Oh.
And the nightmares is kind of a telltale of how it happened and how it's possibly going to end. So at the beginning of the game, you start off in the woods. And in the woods, this is where his dad gets into the hospital. And it's through a hunting accident. So when you're playing the game, you're basically running from the hunter who's shooting at you. And the only way for you to escape from the hunter is if you shoot back. And so what happens is you get into the shed that somehow, some way, there's a gun mounted, ready to be shot. Or shoot. I can't speak English. And you pull the trigger, and then the hunter dies. And so that basically draws into the conclusion in the real world where it could possibly be a hunting accident where he gets shot, and he's now being sent to the hospital. Now, going into the school section, because the hospital comes in third within the sequence in the game. And the school thing, I'm trying to remember exactly what the series talked about in the school, but it was kind of in a way where he had to transition with no family, no friends, and he was basically by himself, and also with the fear of the teacher. And the neck thing within it, like being like, extending and all that kind of stuff, it's kind of giving a semblance of how the child feels when a teacher is in the room. It's like as if it had eyes at the back of his head. And where, like, whatever they don't see, they're going to see anyways. Yeah. Because it's like they are one place to the next in a matter of seconds. So that's, like, the fear of, not having the control of where or not knowing where this person is. And so that's a really cool thing with the teacher. And now it's to the hospital. And then the hospital kind of has pictures laying around everywhere in these areas that you go to that kind of plays out into what's happening in the real world. It gives you an idea. And there's one picture where you see Mono sitting down next to a hospital bed. And that kind of gives the idea of where he is now. He's watching, his father dying, or he's kind of waiting for him to wake up. And everything that's happening with his dad, it's basically all being not manifested into his head, but it's what he's dreaming about while he's sleeping.
It's how he's perceiving it.
And I don't know really much about the mannequins or anything like that, because I wish I could get in a more in-depth theory, because it's just like last week, and you were going through some stuff, so that's why I refrained from saying it then. But I'm going to definitely look up that video so I can send that to you so we can put that in the edits so you guys can check it out for yourself because it's a really, really great edit. But I want to move on because I've been like, you know, going down into a rabbit hole of not knowing what the hell I'm talking about. But also, the game talks about the fear of loneliness too. Because in Mono's name, it kind of says it right there in plain sight. Like, you know, Mono, one,
single,
lone, single. So it talks about that fear as well. And a deeper story within all of us that we all have. Now, there is a really great enemy on there called the Thin Man. And the Thin Man is like this guy you will meet in the ending part of the game. He's not that bad. He's literally just like, think of Slender Man, but he has a face and he has a hat. That's literally the Thin Man.
Oh, he's literally just Slender Man.
Like, exactly. He's literally a Slender Man, but just tall, has a hat. But so
he's just Slender Man with a fedora.
Basically.
He's kind of cute.
He was, and he's not. But
he'll take your face out, but
yeah, pretty much. But I won't say this one because it's a major spoiler. Because there's a huge reveal in the end of the game with the Thin Man. I think a lot of people will definitely enjoy. So definitely check out the Thin Man story if you guys are too scared to, they don't play the game. You're more than welcome to. And let's get on top. I have a lot of stuff written down here, but I just don't want to say it because honestly it just spoils everything. But, man, if you like good scares, if you like some really great story, honestly, I think it's one of the best indie stories that's coherent. Like, it's not too complex, it's clean cut, straight to the point. I think you would enjoy that because, you know, you don't like to have things like, you know, wait or drag out for too long. So I think Little Nightmares is a really good start for anyone that's just looking for something short and sweet, no pun intended, because it's Nightmares, and, you know, just having a good time. So I think Little Nightmares was a really good choice for any indie horror fan that wants to, like, look for something that's new and different.
All right.
I'm done because I talked way too much.
We're right out of time. Do you have anything to plug before we go?
You know, I'm doing stuff. I'm making stuff. I'm praying. Have a good time. Hope you guys are having a good time. So yeah, be on the lookout for whatever happens next.
I might plug my new. I might plug the new YouTube channel. The new commentary stuff.
Ooh.
You might expect more from that. Who knows?
Ooh.
All right.
Cool.
We'll see y'all later.
Yeah.